And welcome back to Who Would Win. And today's Who Would Win comes to us from White King, or the White King. I think it's just White King, who asked the question, who would win a fight, Star-Lord or Remy LeBeau or Gambit? Now, Star-Lord is a human... Oh, crap. What was the name of the alien species? Not what did that? He's actually legitimately a member of. Because we're not using the MCU Star-Lord. We're using just Star-Lord in general. So let's see. I know he's half human and half, and they're still giving me the Guardians of the Galaxy for the movie version. Where is he? Okay, there we go. Peter Quill. He's half human and half. It was like Spartanolian or something like that. Or what's the name of that species? Let's see. Current alias, real name, relatives, affiliation, identity, marital status, occupation, gender, height, blah, da, 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 da. Okay. Spartoli. Or no, Spartol. A T-O-I. So he's half human, half Spartol. Spartol's age much slower than humans. So Star-Lord's actually a lot older than I think he looks, or we know he'll age a lot slower than a normal person. He spent a lot of time on the battlefield, so he's actually a pretty excellent marksman, strategist, and tactician. He's actually a pretty solid hand-to-hand combat, being an expert in such things. He's an expert pilot in Milano. He has universal knowledge, having been in the universe for God knows how long. He's armed with his elemental guns, which shoot, no joke. Twin pistols capable of conjuring the 4 elements. That doesn't really specify things, but I'm guessing it means it can shoot like fire, wind, lightning, or that kind of stuff. He also carries around a space helmet, which lets him breathe in space. Jet boots for short, sustained flight. Transplanter to translate things. Helmet allows him to. His helmet also allows him to survive sudden changes in pressure, size alteration, and oxygen supply, so he can survive in the vacuum of space. Remy LeBeau is, I can't remember if he's an alpha or an omega level mutant. I know that Gambit is far more powerful than what is led to believe. It's not just that he charges the cards up and makes them explode. Basically, what he does is it's a molecular acceleration. It's not that he charges something with kinetic energy. What it basically does, and I'm reading this verbatim, has the power to take the potential energy stored in an object and convert it into kinetic energy, thus charging that item with explosive results. It's more a molecular acceleration, as they call it. He prefers to charge smaller objects, such as his ever-present playing cards, as they require less time. Basically, the size of an item increases time to charge. The power of the explosion is dependent on the mass of the object he is charging. For example, a charged playing card explodes with the force of a grenade. He can use his mutant abilities to accelerate objects' kinetic energy instead of converting it to potential energy. For example, he can charge his bow staff with enough kinetic energy and power to level a house. His ability also allows him to inject into organic lives or opponents. It can stimulate their physical potential and make them move or attack with additional momentum. Essentially, enhance their abilities. Enhanced abilities, including like agility, static interference, allows him to prevent mind control, won't play effectiveness. He's able to charm individuals to some degree. But more powerful minds are proved immune to these effects. Toxic transmutation doesn't matter because this is when he was the Horseman of Death. Gambit only was temporarily given his full potential in battle to battle his counterpart, New Sun. So we're not using him at his full potential. Otherwise, I would completely give this 100% to Star-Lord. Precognition, was temporarily blinded and was able to use his cards to predict the future. Congratulations, but that's not going to factor in this fight. Time travel, again, was able to use his powers to travel through time by transforming himself into living energy, which joined with the kinetic flow. Again, this is like at the height of his powers. Gam is also able to heal himself by stimulating his cellular activity. So an enhanced regenerative healing factor to some degree. Appearances did switch between normal. Basically, it was something that due to being deaf, his appearance changed. He had like the black skin and everything, which was actually a really cool look for him. He's expert marksman, particularly with small objects, skilled combatant, though he's, as they say, though not the same level as Captain America. He's a profound fighter, often employing martial arts, street fighting, acrobatics. He is a well-adapted martial artist, savant, he's well-adapted martial arts, savant, French kickboxing, bow jutsu, or the art of the bow staff. Gambit is no stronger though than any man if physically his size and stature. Physical strength, and he can enhance himself with physical abilities though. He wields his playing cards and a bow staff regularly, and some body armor in that ever so famous trench coat. So these two duke it out. Let's assume that Star-Lord, for some reason, is on Earth and he's trying to steal something, and Remy gets in the way and is like, "Oh, sorry, Monsieur, but this is going to this this is my score. You can go and f off somewhere else." And Star-Lord's not having any of that, so he immediately says, "Sorry, buddy, but yeah, I'm gonna have to take this." And then the fight begins, and I'm gonna tell you right off the bat. Star-Lord's at a big disadvantage. And you might say, well, Star-Lord's been key or been around helping defeat individuals like Thanos or Skrulls or the Kree. He's gone and beaten individuals far more dangerous than Gambit is. Yes and no. Yes, he has, but no, because that's always been part of a team, not by his own doing. He's defeated some powerful individuals on his own, for certain, for sure. But when you compare what they're capable of versus what they've done, it quickly becomes clear that Peter Quill is at a disadvantage here. Peter would probably start off with rocket shoes immediately to get a distance, bring out the guns, start firing things at Gambit, who would be deflecting with his bow staff, throwing playing cards out. They'd be exploding in midair. Star-Lord's able to keep his distance for a while. If this gets into close quarter combat, though, I'm going to tell you right now, Peter Quill is not going to beat Gambit in a straight out fist fight. He's just not. Gambit's far more skilled than Peter Quill ultimately is. Though Peter could definitely hold his own for a little bit, and being able to fly around and hover and stuff would definitely give him an actual unique edge in the combat, but ultimately Gambit would be the more skilled. So they would go back and forth. Gambit would probably charge his staff up at one point with energy and just smack Quill, speeding up the strike with the bow staff, hitting Quill. Quill then fires, hits Remy with it for using the 4-element idea here, like a blast of wind, which blows Remy back because he can't block wind. Just it's like, I see we weren't gonna play hard to get, huh? Well, here's a game. Let's call it 5-card. And just brings out the cards. 5-card stud. It's like, no, checks are better to open. I remember that in the cartoon. Well, yeah, it was like 5-card stud. Jacks are better to open. And then he just kind of flicks the cards at the Sentinel. Just he just starts pulling out decks of cards, just machine gunning them at him. And this is like grenades, mind you. So it's immediately like putting Star-Lord at a disadvantage, a serious disadvantage here. Star-Lord is doing what he can, the best he can. But there's not much he can do ultimately to overpower Gambit. Yeah, that's the problem. Ultimately, it's going to come down to who can get the knockout. Because I don't think either of these guys would kill each other. I think they'd just knock it out, and knock one of them out. But ultimately, I gotta go with Gambit in this, and the reason is when you compare one-on-one fights with each other. Star-Lord is going up against more powerful individuals at a much bigger disadvantage. He can use his wits, certainly, but if someone's just as smart or smarter than him, unless he's got something that is tailor-made to their weakness, specifically made for that story and plot, Star-Lord's usually going to have to get the help of other individuals like the Guardians to help him. Gambit is a much more capable and more powerful individual than Star-Lord ultimately is. So it just comes, and Star-Lord really isn't anyone that is unique that Gambit has fought. Gambit's fight individuals consistent with Star-Lord. All the time he's gone up against Bishop, he's gone up against Cable, he's gone up against a number of the X-Men and X-Men villains who are either equal to or greater than Star-Lord, no doubt. So I have to go with Gambit in this fight. Is there a way Star-Lord could beat Gambit? Sure, but it would pretty much involve him getting the high ground and just shooting at him with the elemental gun and just knocking him out. And there's no guarantee of that happening. I would say it's 15% chance of that happening. But I've got to go 85% of the time I'm going with Gambit in this fight. Who do you think would win, though? Gambit or Starlight? You think it's farther or closer than I made it? You think Gambit wins the majority, even more than I give him? Or you think Starlight actually comes out and wins more times than Gambit? Let me know in the comments below. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win? Star Wars, Superhero, Magic, What If, anything I do on this channel, put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. So I will actually be back in a little while with a video that I'm going to be trying something new here. I did it a little bit. I did it yesterday with the Pokemon starter. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So get ready for something that's going to be magical. Well, anyway, we'll get to it when we get to it. Thanks for watching, folks. See you next.